You know, I don't really stand up for snipers all that often, mainly because in the beta of this game and when it first launched, I was under the impression that just about anybody could snipe. Like, my fucking grandma could snipe in this game. Then they got a nerf and I felt like it took a little bit more skill to snipe, but I still felt like snipers needed to be fixed, not nerfed. But now, there is a fat-ass nerf coming to sniper rifles, and honestly, it's not looking very good. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the boy Fooly, and I'm bringing you guys another video right here on Black Ops Cold War. And today we're going to be talking about snipers and just how badly they're getting nerfed, because they're actually getting nerfed very badly. But before we get into anything, make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to follow me on my socials down in the description below, and let's get right into it. So in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, on the 20th there's a mid-season update, or Season 3 Reloaded, coming to Call of Duty Cold War, and I'm really happy that we're finally getting more weapon balancing in this game. And one of the biggest talking points about this weapon tuning update was the fact that the sniper rifles were either too OP, or if you were a sniper, you thought that they were too weak. And here's the thing, it's kind of both, and that's not because snipers are too OP or that they're too weak. It's that Treyarch really f***ed up in balancing the sniper rifles before this game came out. And there was a lot of people who really hated the sniper rifles with a passion, and when this game first launched, I was part of that group. But let me tell you something, after doing the Dark Matter grind, and after actually using all of the sniper rifles, I was always under the opinion that Treyarch should add flinch to the snipers, and to go along with that, they should buff the ADS time. That way there's actual balance to the snipers, but instead, what Treyarch ended up doing was giving them flinch, which is good, but then they increased the ADS time, which is really questionable, because you would think that to balance the snipers, you should kind of give them a pro and a con, but instead these are just two negatives. And when I tell you that they got nerfed badly, this is coming from somebody who, like I said, I thought that snipers were pretty busted in the beginning of this game, and like I said, my fucking grandma could have used those with ease, but now they're kind of getting treated like a stepchild, where they're just not being catered to whatsoever, and they're just getting bullied at this point, which is totally unfair in my opinion. Like I said, I had the absolute dishonor of going for Dark Matter in this game, and even though I'm not a wannabe Phase 5 TikTok montage posting PC swiping nerd, I feel like I have a pretty decent idea of what's insanely overpowered and what's insanely weak in this game. And I gotta say, the amount of nerfs that are coming to the sniper rifles aren't all that fair when you actually look at how badly they're getting nerfed. Now, I don't think they're completely unusable. I see a lot of people over-exaggerating over on Twitter.
You might as well just take out the snipers from the game. Like, I'm getting two-shotted by an SMG at far range, but the sniper gets hit markers.
Like, trust me, these are some pretty bad nerfs, but it's not that bad, okay? But before you get trigger happy on the dislike button, just know, I am on your side, and I think Treyarch should revert some of these nerfs, especially when some of these snipers are genuinely pretty ass to use. Like, if you're not a sniper and you went for Dark Matter, then you should know that the Barrett 50 cal in this game, especially the vanilla version or a version with barely any attachments on it, that thing isn't very fun to use at all. And then other snipers like the Swiss, which have really low damage, but it doesn't really matter all that much because it's just a bunch of ADS spam on that gun, honestly. They just don't know how to balance these weapons, and honestly, they could have even buffed the damage a little tiny bit, but just made them a little less accurate with flinch. That would have honestly been the perfect balance for snipers. Like, honestly, on some of these sniper rifles, they easily could have just given them a damage buff, given them an ADS buff, given them a flinch nerf, and given them an ADS accuracy nerf. For example, I think the Swiss K could have used a slight damage buff and a slight accuracy nerf. The Tundra could have definitely gotten an ADS buff, but a big fat flinch nerf, but instead they just nerfed the snipers down to the ground, which is not fixing the problem at all, and if anything, that's just going to make it a lot worse, because now there's going to be a bunch of toxic snipers out there who think that they're getting treated like a bunch of midnight dumpster babies, which is not happening. But instead, one of the bigger issues that comes up out of this is that while the snipers are getting nerfed hard to the ground, things like the pistols and miraculously the LMGs in this game are getting buffed, and I don't even know what's happening to the tactical rifles, but chances are they're not getting nerfed hard to the ground like the snipers are, and those things are equally, if not a bigger problem than snipers themselves. Like, I challenge anybody to tell me with a straight face that the Magnum dual wield, those things with task force, needed a buff. The LMGs are getting bullet velocity buffs so that the task force isn't as OP, but people aren't using task force for bullet velocity, they're using task force for damage buffs. So they have a lot of things mixed up. Snipers don't need aim assist, they don't need this tiny little dot that's gonna do the centering for them. And trust me, I know how annoyed some people get when snipers just absolutely joke you. This is one of the only Call of Duties I've ever played where you can put 4 or 5 shots into one person and they can like accidentally quickscope you. And trust me, Like, that's incredibly frustrating, but that's not because snipers are overpowered. It's because this is a game with 150 health, and they didn't properly balance these weapons before adding 150 health. And that's a topic for a different video, but that's one of the main reasons why people get so mad, because you can land all your shots on somebody who's using a street sweeper, but if they're using task force or they're using a magnum with dual wield on it, you're getting smoked faster than you can blink. And that's because they didn't balance these weapons properly to fit 150 health on it. Like, I agree, some of the snipers felt busted at times, but that's mainly an issue with the overall weapon balancing of all the classes of guns that we use in this game. And I entirely blame that on us having 150 health. But like I said, that's a topic for a different video. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for me today. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you think the snipers were too weak? Do you think they were too OP? If you were able to, what kind of changes would you have made to the snipers? Because one thing's for sure, those things definitely needed some change to them. But what Treyarch's doing with this upcoming nerf to them, honestly, it is a bit much. But as always, guys, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts and opinions down below, and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodaloo.